Hello, everyone. We are going to get started today. I'll share my screen so we can all see. Let's see. There we go. Everybody should be able to see the iPad screen now. And we're going to go over the iOS basics for Avenza Maps. Whatever we are going to cover today, as Tara mentioned, will be recorded. So we're going to start off with looking at our My Maps tab, going through how to get maps from the Map Store, importing maps, adding place marks, recording tracks, and exporting data. So we're going to start off first in our My Maps tab, which is the screen you can see now. And this is the first screen you'll see when you open up the app. We'll see we've got 4 maps here, and then our toolbar along the bottom and our toolbar at the top. So one of the most important parts of your maps is your map store.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
A bit of trouble with your audio. You're kind of cutting in and out.
Okay. Am I still cutting out, or can everybody hear me?
I can hear you now. It was a little bit intermittent.
Okay. If you
try again, and I'll let you know.
Okay, sounds good. So we're going to start by looking at the Map Store account, which is your Head and Shoulders icon at the top right. So if you tap that, you'll see I'm logged into my Map Store account, and this will pop up here, and you can see your download history and change your password and change your email. So if you've downloaded maps from the Map Store before or purchased maps while you are logged into a Map Store account, you can access them here. On iOS devices, it is not required to have a Map Store account, but we strongly recommend creating one anyway so you can access any maps that you have purchased or downloaded from the Map Store. So if I'm not logged in, this screen will come up and will ask you to log in with your email address and password. And once you're logged in, you'll see these 3 options. To access maps you've downloaded before, you'd go into your download history, and you'll be able to see all the maps in your account. So I have a lot of maps. So you can scroll. You may make it all the way to the bottom, and you'll have to hit view more, but it will continue to keep loading for you so you can see all of your maps. See at the bottom, get more. If we tap that, it will allow us to view all of them. If we want to install maps, we'll just have to tap the install button here. So let's go up to one of these, and we will tap the install, and it will download the map to our Map Store or our My Maps tab. So you can view it there. You can also install more than one. We'll go back to our My Maps tab, go to the download history, and then you'll be able to also see the information about the map, go in there, read it, and then download it. So if you're purchasing any maps, we recommend being logged into your Map Store account so you can have access to them wherever you are. If you have more than one device, if you log into your Map Store account on all of those devices, you'll be able to access your maps. To go out of there, we'll tap the My Map Store account and the close button. So when you're looking for maps, you can either get them from the Map Store in the app, which is the store button on the bottom with the shopping cart, or you can get them on our website, avenzamaps.com. You can download them directly to your Map Store account, and then you can log into your Map Store account in the app, or you can import maps. But we're going to look at the Map Store in the app first. So when you open the Map Store account, the Map Store, this is what you're going to see first. You'll want to tap the Find Maps at the top or the little magnifying glass. And it's going to take you, since I'm on a bigger screen, you'll see the list as well as the map, and all the pins represent maps that are available for you to download. So we'll see a bunch of blue pins. We can also see our list. If we zoom in or out, it will change what is in the list and what we can see. And we'll also be able to see the cost. So if we see down here in the list, the Toronto map has a cost of $6.99, you'll have to ensure that you have a valid payment method set up with your Apple ID so you can purchase the map. So any paid map, you'll need to make sure that you have either your credit card or iTunes gift card or PayPal account set up with your Apple ID so you can purchase. If the map says free, then that's no issue. You can tap the button here. So if I choose the Toronto's Grilled Cheese map and tap free and install now, it will just start to install onto my Maps tab. Or if I'm curious about a different map, we can open it to see more information. So we're going to search with our search bar at the top. You can put in the name of the map, you can put in the region, the city, etc. We're going to look for the TTC map, which is the Toronto Transit Commission. So we'll type in TTC and hit search. Oh, and apparently we are not coming to the TTC. We are ending up in the Caribbean. That's okay. Let's go back, see if we can go to our location again. On the bottom right of the map here, you'll see there is the option for location, and it will bring you back there. And now we can see that there is one map available, and it is the TTC map. We just had to redirect the map store back to where we are located. If we want to learn more about this map before we download it, we can tap the little I beside the title, and the pop-up will come up and it will tell us who made the map, how big the map is, when it was uploaded, and then we can also see a preview of the map. So if you tap to see a preview on the map, you'll get 3 options. You can swipe through them, and the map quality here is not the same quality as you'll get in the map. This is just to give you an idea of what the map is going to look like. If we're satisfied with that, we can hit the back button, and then we can tap the free button and the install to download it to our My Maps tab. So we'll press OK. We'll press the little X here at the top right. We'll also notice that there is the option on the top of the Find Maps blue bar here for a funnel icon to filter our results. So if I tap that, we have the option here to set filters for searching in the Map Store. So we can see that we can turn on the filter for free maps only. And then we can also look for, say, just topographic maps, recreational maps, map bundles, etc. And when you turn them on, there will be a little check mark beside them. Just turn them off, just tap on them again. So that's how you can download maps from the Map Store. There are more filters available on our website. So if you're looking more specifically, you can always search there. And then again, they'll just be associated with your Map Store account, and you can download them directly from there. Okay, so we're going to go out of the store, and then we'll go back to our My Maps tab. So now you can see we've got a bunch of different maps here, but I want to import my own map. So you can tap the plus at the top right between the account and the edit icon, and this dialog box will come up, and it's going to give you a bunch of options. The first 2 are getting a map from the Map Store, which we just did, or requesting a map. So you can reach out to us with a link to a map or a file if you'd like to see that map available in the Map Store. And then there are also other options for importing maps. You can import from iTunes file sharing, so you can plug your device into the computer, load the file into iTunes, and then sync it with your device and import from there. You can import from Dropbox. You can import from storage locations, which includes any cloud storage application you have on your device, such as Google Drive, OneDrive, Box, and Dropbox. And then you can also import from a URL, or at the top right of this dialog, you'll see a little QR code scanner, and you can import from a QR code. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to import from a QR code. So the screen's going to get a little wonky for a second because I'm going to open the camera. So we'll have to open that, and then you see if you hover over the QR code, it moves really quick. It will download the map. QR codes are great for distributing maps and sharing maps, but sometimes if you go to scan it and import it, you'll realize it's just directing you to a website where you can download the map, or it will download the map right into your My Maps tab. It kind of depends how the person has it set up, but you can find QR codes sometimes on paper maps, on park signs, public signs with maps already on them, so you can get a digital copy. Next, we're going to look at the sorting options on your My Maps tab. So you'll see at the top left under the My Maps, we have the option for sorted by name. You can change it to sort by distance, date, and storage used. So if I flip it to date, we'll see the most recent maps are at the top, and then the older ones are at the bottom. Older as in imported at a different time. You can also sort by distance. And sorting by distance refers to how far or close you are to the map. So obviously my top few maps are where I am now in Toronto. The bottom one, Texas, and then Pisgah Ranger Forest. We are not there either. Sorry, Pisgah National Forest. So they're at the bottom. But I prefer to sort by name, so we're going to keep it there. You also can see on the right, beside the search icon, the magnifying glass, there is another option for filters, the 3 lines that go down. So you can filter your maps to see specific ones that you'd like. So you can see imported maps, you can see folders and collections, active maps, inactive maps, maps only, and all items. So we've got one imported map, so that's why there's the one beside that. And we'll see once we turn on the filter, there's a little blue box around that. So we know that that is on. So if you import a map or you download a map from the map store and you have it set to only folders and collections and you cannot find your map, you most likely have one of these turned on, and you just have to put it back to all items, and then you'll be able to see everything. The active versus inactive maps refer to imported maps. So if you have the free version of the app and you've imported 3 maps, all 3 maps will be active. If you go to import a 4th map, it will be inactive because you are only able to have 3 active maps at a time with the free version. If you have a subscription, a Plus or a Pro subscription, you have unlimited active maps. So you'll be able to see them all there. Maps from the Map Store are unlimited. So you can download and purchase as many maps from the Map Store as you want. We can see at the top too, there's the option for maps from the Map Store. But we'll keep it on all items so we can see everything. So we're going to go into one of our maps and we're going to look at how we can use the map and the tools on the map. So we're going to open our TTC map at the bottom. And we'll see here, we're on our map, our blue dot is there. Our bottom toolbar has 4 icons. If I tap the location one on the far left, it turns blue and it centers on our location. I can zoom in and it will keep us centered. If I tap it again, it will rotate the map to any direction that I'm pointing. So it may move a little bit quick, hopefully not too fast. You'll see I'm moving the tablet around and the screen is changing direction. So on the top, you'll notice that the blue bar has the direction that we're pointing in. So 108 degrees east. And we'll see there's a little compass icon at the top right, which moves with how we are moving the device. So if I want to stop this, turn it off, I'll tap that compass button and we'll flip back around. This will only work if you have a compass built in on your device. Most phones have a compass built in, but not all tablets do. This iPad has one, but not all iPads will have a compass. Not all Android tablets will have a compass. So you'll be able to tell. If you go to tap that, you'll get a little error that will say no compass, so it won't work. But we can show you how to use it here. You can also zoom in by pinching out, and then zoom in by pinching out and zoom out by pinching in. Standard as you would do on lots of other things, pictures, etc. We're going to look at next the coordinates. So at the bottom, we have our toolbar here with our coordinates in the middle. So if I tap that, I'm going to get an option of display formats for our coordinates. So the default is latitude, longitude, and whatever projection the map is in. You can change those to how you see fit. There's also the option for latitude and longitude in WGS84. And then you can see there's the option for easting and northing, as well as MGRS, the military grid coordinate system. So whatever you pick, if I pick the last one here, latitude, longitude, WGS84, it will update at the bottom. So that's how I see it. And you'll notice if you move around the map, they will move or they will adjust to where the crosshair location is. So they will forever be moving. But you can always tap it to open it up to view it in a different coordinate system, display format. Next, we are going to look at adding place marks. So you can do so easily with your place mark button there at the bottom left beside the location. So if I center my crosshair over spot I would like to drop a place mark, I will tap the place mark button and this little dialog will come up that will allow me to add a place mark. So here I can change the title. So the intersection I believe was St. Clair, so I can make it St. Clair. And then I can choose my icon. So the default is the red pin, but you can change it. As you can see here, we have the ATM sign, a blue pin, and an orange pin. If I tap those 3 dots beside symbol, I will be able to see other symbols that are available to me. Standard different color symbols are there. And then you also have access to the National Park Service recreation symbols. So I don't think we're going horseback riding in the middle of the city, but say we choose parking. I can tap that and the parking symbol will be selected. I can add photos if I'd like. I can set a description. So say I want to say that there was 15 parking spots here. I can go in here and I can write 15 spots. And now I know. And we've got the time as well as the location. And when I'm done, I'll hit submit at the top right and it will be added. And we'll see that we've got the little P there. And then the title of the place mark is there as well. And if we tap the information eye, it will come up and we can see all of our information again. The next thing that we are going to look at is recording a track. So I'm going to go to a different map here. We'll hit the back arrow and say we go into our grilled cheese map. So we made this map last year to celebrate Grilled Cheese Day, National Grilled Cheese Day. So Toronto looks like Swiss cheese. And if you want to record a track, there's 2 different ways to start that. So if I tap the map tools, which is the 3 dots on the bottom right, these different tools will come up and we'll see record GPS tracks is available there. Or you can also swipe up from the navigation bar on the bottom. It opens to GPS automatically, but if you tap tracking, it will allow you to start to record a track here. It will tell you it's ready to go. And when you're ready, you just have to press the green start button and it will start recording for you. You just have to keep in mind, if you have the battery saver mode on your device, it can interfere with the GPS tracks. It can cause straight lines, inaccurate signal, etc., because it's trying to preserve your battery, so it's not providing you the best GPS accuracy. So if you go out for a hike and say you start recording your track, then you lock your phone and you walk about a mile and you open it back up and you look at your map and it's just a straight line. It doesn't show all the curves that you've gone on. It's very possible that your battery saver mode is on and it's impacting the signal. You can turn it off. If you're in a very mountainous area, then it's definitely possible that's affecting your signal. Or if you're in a big city with lots of skyscrapers, lots of things can affect that. So just keep that all in mind when you're recording a GPS track. Since I am sitting inside and I cannot show you I'm out recording a track, we imported one. So we're going to go back to our My Maps tab and we're going to go onto our Toronto Gardens map. I've imported a track here for you. It's in orange. Zoom in so you can see it. So you can get information about a track by tapping it and it highlights it and we see that it was 15.65 kilometers and it took just over an hour. And if we tap the little information eye, we can see even more details. So here, just as we did with the place marks, we can change the title, add photos, add a description, etc. But the fun thing with tracks is you can also see the graph. So in between description and time, I can tap show graph and it shows us here our start time and our end time, our total time, moving time, average speed, average moving speed, top speed, the distance, and then our elevation minimum maximum. So we can see it all in the graph and then we can also see the statistics below. Pretty neat, especially if you're going out hiking or if you're out for a run, you can always record your track, even out for a walk, especially. So it's good to see when you get back. When you're done, you can hit the close button and it will be there. The last thing we are going to go over is exporting data. So this is extremely important because your data is stored on your device. It's not stored in your Map Store account. If you delete the app from your device, you will delete all of your data. So it's very important to back it up frequently, as frequently as you're willing to do it, but I would recommend more often than not. And we're going to export today from the map itself. And to do so, you're going to tap the pin with 3 lines icon on the bottom right, the map features. And we'll see this comes up and we've got one layer here. And on the bottom right, there's the square with the arrow pointing down, which is how you can import map features. And then there's a square with the arrow pointing up in which you can export map features. So we're going to tap the export option and it's going to pop up and say export to other apps or use AirDrop to share maps and other features. So we are going to export to others because I have no one to AirDrop to. So we're going to choose export to others. And this is going to let us set our export settings. So here we can change the title. We can change the format. We want to export our track as a track, not as a line. And then we have the option to set our media size and our data. So I'm going to keep the title the same, but for format, there are 4 formats, KML, CSV, GPX, and shapefile. Shapefile is only available if you have a pro subscription, and you can only import and export KMLs and shapefiles. So if you're looking to re-import this data at a later date or share with someone who's going to import the data, you need to be sure you're exporting as a KML if you're using the free version, or if you have Pro, you can export as KML or shapefile. So I'm going to keep it as a KML. Next, you have the option for exporting features, schema only, or custom. The custom will allow you to go through and pick if I had, say, 3 place marks in the track and I just wanted 1 place mark in the track, choose that. And then there's the media size. And this is the most important step if you're exporting data with photos. Because if you do not set your media size, your photos will not come with your data. So if I tap the media size option here, we'll see I have the option to export as small, medium, large, or no image. If it is set to no image, your photos will not export. Please remember to set your media size when you're exporting your data with photos so that your photos come with it. So you can keep it as large, but keep in mind if you are exporting to email, most emails have a cap, a size cap for sending data. I'm sure you've encountered it before when they say your attachment is too big, please find another way to send it. So if you keep it as large and you have lots of photos, you might not be able to email it. So you can keep that in mind that you can switch it to small if you can use small photos if you're using email. But if you're exporting to another cloud storage location, then it is definitely not a big deal as long as you have the storage available. So we're going to keep it as large, go back to our export settings. If we're happy with this, which I am, we're going to tap the export button at the top right of this dialog, and it's going to pop up all the options of where I can send this data. So we can see 2 AirDrop options came up here. We're not going to AirDrop it. We can see there's the option for Gmail, OneDrive, Google Drive, Dropbox, Share It. And then at the bottom here, we can also see that there is the option to send to iTunes file sharing. So you can export that way as well as you can import. And then you can also send to Dropbox there. So again, it pulls any cloud storage option that you have on your device. If you have Box, etc., you can totally use that. Just have to be sure that you're set up and logged in and ready to go. So we're not going to export it. We're just going to exit out of there, and then we'll hit the close button. And that's everything that we're going to cover today. So I'll go back to my Maps tab, and if you have any questions, now is the time to please type them into the Q&A so I can answer them. So yeah, if you want to take your time, type them, that'd be great.
Thanks, Rebecca. That was great. There are a couple of questions, but take your time there. I've moved some of them over to the Q&A panel. So if you typed your question into the chat panel and you no longer see it there, it's because I have moved it. My apologies for the confusion.
Okay, so we'll start with what's there now. Please feel free to add them in if you have them. Rosendo asked, is there a setting available to calculate area in a track or shape without retracing the track or area separately? So there is a pro feature specifically that is for track to area. So you can convert your track to an area, or you can draw areas with the draw and measure tool. So if I go into my Toronto map, move away from this, tap the map tools on the bottom right, draw and measure, you can start to draw. And once you have 2 lines, you can turn it into an area with the little area button in the bottom toolbar. there's that option, but you can, if you have a pro subscription, convert your track to an area. Just tap the information I on the track, and if I go down to the bottom, you'll see there's the operation, to convert to an area. So you can do that. Those are your two options there. Jonathan asked, do you need cell signal for tracking? No, you do not need any signal at all. You can go off in airplane mode if you want to save your battery, but no, you do not need any signal at all. John asked, any plans of making a Microsoft tablet app version? We did have a Windows 10 version of the app, but we have discontinued it. So at present moment, the answer is going to be no. So I apologize, but Nathan asked, do you need to have your phone open while tracking your location? No, you do not. It will continue to record in the background. If I start to record a track and I lock my phone or my device, it will just say, like, the little notification, there will be a little icon that'll say Avenza Maps recording a track. Same thing on an Android. And then when you reopen it, it will update to where you are. Are there any other questions? Oh, yes. And for anyone, this is version 3.6.2. You can always check your version in the settings page. It will say at the top, Avenza Maps, and your version number there. So if you're contacting our support team, which you can do at help.avenzamaps.com, and they ask you what version you're using, you can always check in your settings page. Kevin asked, can you airdrop from iOS to Android? AirDrop is iOS only, so no. You can only airdrop from iOS to iOS. Tom asked the easiest way to update the version. When updates are available, if you have your auto update set in the App Store, then it will update automatically for you to the newest version. Or if you do not have your auto update turned on, you'll have to go into the App Store and go into updates and check for available updates for the app or any app you have on your phone. Are there any other questions?
Looks like that's it for now. Oh, one's popped up there in the chat, Rebecca.
Okay, Mikkel asked, any tips for using ArcMap with Avenza data? If you're making maps for Avenza Maps in ArcMap, just be sure to make sure your your map is georeferenced when you're exporting it as a PDF. In terms of the data itself, again, KML, shapefile, both will work. Those are the only forms you can import. So if you're going to export from the app, export as those. If you're bringing them into ArcMap to send back in. But anything specific, if you're running into any specific issues with the data, you can let us know. Bob asked, can you Bluetooth to a bad elf? You can Bluetooth your device to any external GPS it will connect with. Sometimes you need to install the app. So say you're using a Trimble, you may need the Trimble app first installed to Bluetooth everything correctly. But Avenza Maps will pull whatever GPS signal your device is receiving. So if you're, excuse me, if you have your external GPS Bluetooth with your device, we'll pick that all up. Brandon asked, when using Adobe Pro and use the reduce file size feature that maintains the quality, I've heard that the georeferencing doesn't work as well. Is this true, and is there a better method? I have personally never seen that as an issue. I don't know what it would strip from the georeferencing. If you're running into a specific map issue and you've brought it into the app as well as you've brought in the original and there's some issues, I'd suggest sending the files to our support team just so they can take a look and see if there is anything. It wouldn't make sense that they would strip that. But again, if you're compressing it in a different software, that's kind of whatever's happening under the hood there. But yeah, I'd try bringing both the original file and the reduced one into the app and kind of see if there's any discrepancies, and then we can kind of troubleshoot from there. Any other questions?
Okay. Great. Well, if any others pop up in the chat windows, we will catch it, and our support team will send emails out to answer those questions. And Rebecca's put the link up there at help.avenzamaps.com is where you can find the form to contact our support team. So thank you, everyone, for joining us today. I hope that you found this session useful, and thank you very much, Rebecca. You did a great job. Again, we will be sending this out, the link out to this tomorrow. So check your email for that, and feel free to forward that along to anyone else who needs it. So thanks for joining us today, and enjoy the rest of your day.